guys, and welcome back. I know it has been forever since I put up a video, but I finally had a day that I could just stay home and film something, so here I am. And I'm really excited for today's video because I'm finally getting to use two new products that I got that I have not really gotten a chance to play with yet. So one of them being the Jaclyn by Morphe palette, and the other one, this is the DESI by KATY and Dose of Colors collab, the girls palette with these like Balm glitter shimmer shades. So I'm going to be doing this look with these two palettes. So if you would like to see how to get this look, then keep on watching. Stay. All right, let's get into it. Get my hair out of my face. First things first, we're gonna prime our eyes. I still just use the Tarte Shape Tape to prime. This is shade Light Neutral. I just do a tiny bit. A little bit does go a long way. So I just do like a little teeny dab. So like that. And like that. I'm just going to blend that out. You could use your finger too. For today, I'm going to use this MAC 130, 138, 132. I don't know. MAC, this brush. This is what I'm using to blend it out. I'm just going to kind of like stipple it just to make sure it's all blended out. I come a little bit further out over here too, just to give myself like a nice even base. I'm not like too worried about coming like too far over here because I am gonna I'm going to clean everything up with a makeup wipe afterwards anyway. And then I'm just going to set that with, from the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia, this color, this is Tempera. It's like a matte vanilla, like bone shade. It just gives you a nice even base and makes the shadows go on a lot smoother, in my opinion. So I'm also gonna use this as like the brow bone highlight as well. So I'm just gonna kind of blend this all over my eye, in the crease, on the lid, all the way in that inner corner, all the way out. It's hard to get back into this after like not having filmed in a while. It's just hard, you know, like we've had so much going on at the same time that like we were opening the gym and getting everything situated with that, with all the behind the scenes type stuff. We were moving, and then we were trying to like set up the house, which is still not even done. As you guys can see and probably hear, this is going to be my like beauty room area. It's probably really echoey right now because I don't have any furniture in here. I don't have a desk, I don't have a chair, I don't have like a little area rug, nothing, except for that picture hanging. I have like this little tiny end table that we have like in our bathroom that I just have right now, and a folding chair to sit on. Because I was like, you know what, I miss filming. I wanted to get a video out for you guys. I've been wanting to play with some new products that I got recently, and I was like, there's no point in waiting until the situation is perfect, because truthfully it's never going to be that. So might as well just work with what I got for now, right? All right, base done. I apologize if like the lighting or the frame is not fully in focus. I'm doing this by myself. Matt's at work at the gym right now, and I just have like one softbox. I want to get one of those ring lights, but in time we'll make that all happen, you know? For now, like I said, work with what you got. I'm going to start off with the Jaclyn by Morphe palette. I'm going to use this MAC 217 to just start out the crease. So I'm going to go into this shade right here. These colors are super pigmented, so a little bit really does go a long way. So I'm just gonna start this right here, a little bit higher up than I normally would, and I'm just gonna work it all the way into the inner corner. Sorry. And I'm gonna kind of work up to like my inner brow bone area, and then just small circular motions to blend it back out. I just go back and forth between like small circular motions and like windshield wiper motions, just to make sure it's all blended. So once you have that kind of, this shape built out, don't worry about it being super blended right now, because we're gonna go back later and fix that up, make sure everything's blended out perfectly and seamlessly, so we have a nice kind of like gradiated eye. Gradiated, is that a word? I mean like a gradient, you know what I mean? There's no harsh lines. So now I'm going to go into, again, the Jaclyn palette, and I'm going to take this one right here. It's like this really like deep chocolatey fudge brown. It's called Central Park, just to deepen the crease, and then we're gonna move on to some other darker shades. So I don't want this to be like super blown out right here, so I'm gonna take kind of a dome shape blending brush. This is like a nice, more precise one. I guess this is by e.l.f. So what I'm gonna do is kind of like lift my eye a little bit and see like where I really want it. And I'm gonna tilt my head back a little bit too so that I can really focus it in that crease area. So I'm just gonna start right here. So I'm just gonna slowly kind of like tap, 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 and then brush. Tap, tap, tap. Get most of the product, the darkest, most pigmented amount at the edge, and then kind of swoop it in. See how it's darker here, and then it kind of blends out. Obviously it's looking a hot mess right now, but you'll see once it's blended what I'm trying to say. Get nice and tight into this inner corner area. Like I said, don't worry so much about what it looks like over here because we're gonna clean that up with a wipe after. We just wanna get that nice, like, you know, that like almond-y shape eye happening. And we're just gonna blend up a little bit. You're not gonna get like super high. We don't want like black up here, you know? Once you have that kind of good and blended out, as much as you can, we're gonna dip back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and we're going to pick up this purpley shade that's right next to that chocolate brown that we just used right here. That one is called Soda Pop. And we're just gonna use that again in like the really like lower crease area with a really nice like defined, not so much a pencil brush, it's still like a blending shading type brush, but just more precise so you can really get in that crease area. And I'm just going to deepen it, and then we're gonna move on to the lid. So we're gonna do the same type method as we did before, kind of like tilt your head up, pull it up, and see, you can kind of see like where the shadow is. And that's exactly where we wanna go. We don't wanna bring this one up too high. For this, I kind of like angle my brush down, if you can tell, so that I can make sure it's really only in that one area where I want it. Once you kind of have that like purple blended in there, again, don't worry about the rest of it because we're gonna make sure it's all nice and blended afterwards. We're gonna move on to the lid. This is what the packaging looks like for those of you who have not seen it yet. It is so pretty. It's like this rose gold, shimmery, super sparkly, super bouge. For those of you who haven't seen, again, the inside is rose gold metallic-y look. It's got this nice mirror, which I love. I love when palettes have mirrors. This one, this light one, is Sue's. This is Noli. This is Harpoon, the one that we're actually going to use, and Turbo Sun. So I believe Sue's, which is this one, and Harpoon, this one, are the two that they recommend you use wet. So that is what we're going to use today. According to the, I don't want to say directions, but it comes with this little card, like a little guide, that tells you what to do. They recommend that you use all of them with just your fingers, so make sure your fingers are clean when you do go in with it, obviously. Okay, so that's what it looks like on my finger. And let's just go in. Again, I'm going to tilt my head back. I'm going to pat. Pat, pat, pat. Oh, wow. It feels so nice. And I kind of want to get like all the way into that inner corner, outer corner, and then I'm going to work my way up. I'm really impressed that there's like literally no fallout. I know like my finger's wet, but usually you get like a tiny bit at least. I have like the teeniest drop, which is because my finger hit it. Like it's not even actually fallout. Do you see how many gold reflex are in there? Oh my Lanta. And then like I said, I'm just gonna take that same like defined brush with the purple and just kind of go over it just to like redefine that area a little bit. This is the M Cosmetics Illustrative Eyeliner. But in other news, so yesterday, which was, no, Monday, so 2 days ago, I started my vacation cut because Matt and I and my sister and her boyfriend are going to St. Lucia. We're actually leaving on our second-year wedding anniversary, and while we're there, Matt will turn 30. So it's kind of like an anniversary slash squad slash birthday trip, and I'm so excited for it. So I started my cut for that. It's exactly a 12-week cut from the day that we leave. I was debating doing a wing, but I think I decided against it. I want to keep the focus on the lid rather than the eyeliner. So I'm going to pop on some false lashes really quick. I'm going to throw on the Ardell Faux Mink 810s. These have been like my go-to for probably three to 4 months now. Lashes are on. I'm going to come back and finish the eyes after I do the face. So to start off the face, I'm going to begin by priming. The struggle is so real. So this is the Benefit Porefessional or what's left of it, but there's actually a good amount left in here, so I just like snipped off the top with a scissor, and I'll just kind of go in with a Q-tip. I need to buy a new primer though. Actually, no, you know what I'm gonna do first? I'm just gonna clean up those edges like I said from before. I'm just gonna go under here. There's really like no fallout, but just for good measure. So let's just prime here. I only like focus this on the areas where I have visible pores and some fine lines. So mostly I do like right here, my smile lines. I'm gonna go a couple swipes right here and right here. Most people wouldn't put it like in this area because your T-zone, but I'm like really dry. I don't get super oily and I have fine lines there. I'm just gonna press this in with my finger. So I'm gonna press, 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 and then kind of like work outwards with it. I don't wanna just rub it in because I wanna make sure it actually like works into the pores and fine lines and smooths them out and helps to blur them as best that I can. So let's move on to foundation. Today I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match Lumi from the drugstore. This is in the shade W5 Warm. It's a little bit dark for my face, but the rest of my body, as you can see, is much tanner, and once you put the concealer and everything on, it'll work. So I'm just gonna do like 2 pumps, should be plenty. So I'm just gonna start, I always start like at the bottom here on my jawline. I know some people start here, but I don't need like as much coverage there. I have a lot of my like redness and discoloration more like down here. So I'm gonna start here and kind of work my way up and around, small patting motions. I also love the L'Oreal Pro Glow, you guys know. But for whatever reason, when I was in the store that day and I saw this, I was like, wow, it's been a really long time since I used that. So I decided to pick it up and see if I still liked it. Concealer, we are going to use again the Tarte Shape Tape shade Light Neutral, and I'm not gonna go crazy heavy on this because the foundation is really dewy and I don't wanna like mattify it too much. I'm just gonna use it to kind of like brighten up and highlight a couple areas. So we're gonna go here. I have like eczema right here. I've always had it since I was a kid. So I just do a little bit there, a little bit here. Sometimes I'll do like right above here too, but again, like I said, because this is such like a dewy foundation, I don't want to like overdo it on the skin makeup. I want to kind of like make it be as natural as possible. I hate saying natural when you're doing makeup because I know there's gonna be people like, why are you wearing so much makeup, blah 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 in the comments, and there's nothing natural about this, but you just gotta do you, you know? People are always gonna have something to say. So I'm gonna use the Mercier translucent setting powder, which is another thing I need to buy more of. I'm gonna actually do it on Ebates though, just through Macy's. I get like 9% cash back or something. If you guys don't have Ebates, you should get it because you literally get free money for buying stuff that you would buy anyway. I'm just gonna press it into the areas that I wanna set. So I always do my under eyes just to like, again, insurance that it doesn't crease throughout the day, especially like in the summer weather when it's so hot and humid. Especially if you're gonna have sunglasses on, your sunglasses will kind of like smudge it and melt it away. And then I also just kind of like lightly tap it on areas where my makeup tends to break up throughout the day. So I'm gonna go in with Hoola bronzer. I'm just gonna put this on my forehead, warm up those areas. And then I just put it in like areas where the sun would naturally hit. So like I'll kind of like bite my cheek and put it like right above the hollows here. So like right here. So moving on with the face, like I said, we're going to contour. I'm actually just gonna use this little sample of the Bahama Mama bronzer by the Balm to contour. So I'm gonna take this Morphe angled brush. I'm just gonna swirl it. We're just gonna do like a really light contour. It doesn't have to be like anything crazy. It's not gonna be like super intense. So we're just gonna go like right in the hollow. So right like beneath the bronzer kind of. So let me get my hair out of my face. So if you can see, it just kind of like deepens it a little bit. And that's it. So as you can see, it just gives you like a much more like angular, defined type look. So now what I'm gonna do, I just kind of like bake that area just to make sure that the line is more like straight. And we're just gonna let that sit. I'm just gonna do a teeny bit on my nose. All right, let's finish up the eyes and then we will finish up the face and be done. So I think I'm gonna finish the inner corner. No, you know what, let me do the bottom. Let me do the lash line first, the bottom lash line. I have the Jaclyn Hill palette back. And I'm gonna use the same colors that I used up top because I don't wanna take focus away from the lid. So I'm gonna start again with that pukey shade. Not that it's a pukey shade, that's just actually what it's called. So let me grab Luxie blending brush. I actually really like this brush, especially for the lower lash line because the top of it is kind of like pointed at the tip. All right, so bottom lash line trick, look kind of like tilt your head back and look up. This way you can really get close to the lash line and make this really attractive face. You're gonna really focus, again, like most of the pigment on the outer corner and then kind of like blend it inward. So now I'm gonna take that same e.l.f. brush from before and I'm gonna go into those same two deeper shades. So first we're gonna do, what did I do first last time? Central Park. And this one I'm gonna try to get like really tight up into the lash line. And then kind of like smoke it down and in. You guys can let me know in the comments down below if you would like it like more zoomed in the whole time, more zoomed out, if the lighting, the audio, all that is good for you. Can I help you? Because like this is my first time actually doing it by myself. Matt's, like I said, at the gym, so for the majority of the time when I do film, I feel like I'm gonna be on my own now, so I'm still learning. You know, I've had a lot of help up until this point with Matt and everything, so I'm trying to learn how to do it on my own a little bit so that I don't have to rely on him as much and I can get content out more often. So now I'm gonna very lightly, where's that other brush that I used? This one. Dip into that purple. Same thing. Try to get it like right up into the lash line. Just like that. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that pukey shade again and I'm just gonna run that over the bottom of everything just to kind of like blend it all together and smoke it out a little bit more. So let's get into the inner corner. I'm gonna go back in with the DESIXKATY Dose palette. I think, like honestly, both of these gold shades would look really pretty in there, but I think just to keep it lighter and a little bit brighter, I'm gonna go in with Sue's. I'm gonna dip my pinky in. That one is like a little goes a very long way. Let me tap some of that off on my hand. Okay, and we're just gonna come right in here. I kind of want it to connect to like the inner part of like where, yeah, like that. And then bring it down into like that area. See what that did? See the difference? Like nice, but like dull, and then like pat, pat. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into the Makeup Forever Eye Kohl pencil. And I'm gonna smudge it really heavily on my waterline and also into the lower lash line. Focusing most on the outer point again so that it like kind of gives that cat eye shape effect. So we're just gonna go really heavy handed. I'm just gonna take here, this is the same one that I used before. Any brush, and I'm not gonna put any product back on it, just to kind of like smudge out that lower lash line. I'm just gonna go right over where we put the black eyeliner. It just gives it like a little bit more of like a softer, edgier look as opposed to like a black line. You know what I mean? Now I'm just gonna go in with, this is the Tarte Lights Camera Flashes, I believe, mascara for the bottom lash line. And I'm just gonna do a few coats just to make that lower part of your eye like really pop. I cannot do mascara without making like that face, you know? Let's get a little blush on here. So I'm gonna go back in with that same Morphe angle brush. This is DLS blush in Kitty Pink. I'm gonna start at the apples and then kind of bring it back just to keep with that same like shape that we kind of made here, you know? Champagne Pop by Becca, Jaclyn Hill. I'm just gonna swirl, swirl, tap off the excess. And I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna make a C swoop, just like that. I like a really highlighted Cupid's bow. Makes your lips look nice and pouty. Right on the tip of my nose. And then we're gonna just run a teeny bit, like right here. So let's hit the nose contour really quickly. It's gonna take literally 2 seconds. It's not, I wouldn't even call it a contour. It's just kind of like defining it a little bit. So I kind of just come like right from the brows. I just kind of do like that inner corner area right there, really lightly, just to kind of like create more of like a shadow, a little bit more definition. And then I'm just gonna do, I do like a little bit right here, a little bit right here. And then I connect like this, make like a Y here. And then sometimes I'll do it for today, just for the sake of the video. I'll kind of just come straight down here. And same thing on this side. We're gonna set everything with Urban Decay All Night Setting Spray, All Nighter. It's my favorite. Just gonna bathe in that. Oh wait, I literally just sprayed and never wiped away the bakage. I've never done that before in my whole life. Oops. I'm just gonna do a really easy, simple nude lip. This is the Tarteist lip paint in Namaste. So I love that like minty scent. All right, I think I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of gloss just so you guys can see the difference. Give you options for both. So this is it with just a matte lip paint. And then we'll go over it with a gloss just so you can see. So this is the Buxom lip gloss in Mudslide. This is one of those pumping ones, so it kind of tingles a little bit, but it almost has this like, I don't want to say this one's minty, but it just because the tingle, it feels like refreshing like that, but it has this like frosting type smell to it. Oh, it's so good. So that is it. That is the finished look. I hope that you guys like it. All right, so that is it, guys. That is how the final look turned out. I hope that you enjoyed this video and hanging out with me for a little bit today. And if you did like the look, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, click the little bell so you know when I upload another video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.